What's wise, my people? What's wise out there? You know what I'm saying? This is wise thoughts, wise moves, wise clues for you guys to be wise too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm the wise guy who once was that fool. Yeah, we finna get off into a few things today, man. We're gonna get off into this subject right now. The day I met a woman when I was moving like a boy. Yeah, I met this woman one day when I wasn't ready for her because I was out doing boy things, man. Wasn't ready for the woman. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all how it started right here, man. Me and my kinfolk Boogie, right? Cognac, Shady, and I forgot who else it was. We was all at my apartment one day, you know where I'm coming from? So I wasn't the type of guy who hang out in clubs or nothing like that. I didn't go out. What I did was just sit at the house, you know where I'm coming from? And if I wasn't sitting at the house, I'd go hang out with some family members and play some dominoes, you know what I'm saying? Smoke a couple of blunts, take a couple of shots, go on back to the house. I wasn't all in clubs like that. But this day, my kinfolk Bud talked me into going to the club, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna go out and hang out with you guys tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I got ready, you know where I'm coming from. But I said I ain't driving. You know where I'm coming from? So we all go out in the truck. I told him I wasn't driving. You know where I'm coming from? But we was all in my SUV though. But I wasn't driving. I sat in the back seat of the SUV. And Boogie and Cognac was in the front seat. You know what I'm saying? Me and somebody else was in the back seat and somebody else was in the third row seat. I forgot who it was though. You know where I'm coming from? But we go to the club, man, go kicking it and stuff, man. I'm sitting in there yawning and all kind of stuff. You know where I'm coming from? They in there drinking, having fun, party. I'm sitting out in the chair yawning, I'm ready to go. But I ended up staying in there the whole night. I ain't talked to nobody and none of that. You know where I'm coming from? They in there messing with all kind of people. They was. But I knew a lot of people in there. So what happened is I ended up getting too loaded. Because I'm saying everybody was in, I ain't going to say everybody. The people that I knew in there was buying me drinks. Let me say that. So I didn't really have to go nowhere. I had drinks coming to me, you know. So I got too low. So I really, that's why I was really sitting down, you know. But anyway, club let out. We jumps back in the truck. I jumps back in the back seat. Little after spot. We go hang out over there. And then right at this after spot, it's a 7-Eleven right there. You know where I'm coming from. So we go hang out at the after spot and everything. Leave the after spot. I had to get something. I forgot what it was. Somebody needed to get something. I guess some sticks or something. I guess that's what it was. I think it was Boogie. They needed to get some sticks. You know where I'm coming from? Badass Boogie. That's what I call him. Badass Boogie. You know where I'm coming from? Not Boosie, the badass. This right here is badass Boogie. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah. Uh-huh. But yeah, he went in the store and grabbed some. Before he went in the store, I'm gonna say this: I jumped the gun. Before he went in the store, we pulled up at 7-Eleven, right? And there was a car that pulled up right beside us. You know what I'm saying? They was in the SUV too. It was like 3 or 4 girls in the car. You know where I'm coming from? So shoot, Bud, Cognac let his window down because they pulled up on the passenger side on my SUV, and I'm in the back seat on the passenger side of the SUV, but I'm in the back seat. You know where I'm coming from? So I didn't even let my window down. I kept my window up because I wasn't even worrying about the situation. You know where I'm coming from? But anyway, they started talking to the girls. You know where I'm coming from? My kinfolk Bug started talking to the girl on the passenger seat. Cognac tried to talk to the girl that was driving. You know what I'm coming from? Well, I ain't gonna say girl, scratch, cut, and delete that out. The woman that was on the passenger seat. You know what I'm coming from? So Cognac shooting a shot at her. She wasn't listening to her. Bug jumped out the car at this time and gonna walk on to the passenger side of the other car, started talking to the other girl. So Cognac shooting his shot at her, but I guess she ain't trying to hear what he got to say. You know where I'm coming from? So I said, okay. I just went on and let my window down. You know where I'm coming from? I'm in the back seat at this time, right? So shoot, I went on and let my window down, threw a couple of words at her. You know where I'm coming from? Oh man, they followed us to my apartment. You know where I'm coming from? So when they followed us to my apartment, you know where I'm coming from, jumped out the car and everything. That's when everything started right there. The day I met a woman, you know where I'm coming from, man. I met the woman, she was in the service, man. She was in the army. You know where I'm coming from? Man, we got so close, man. But what I was saying about that, about when I was being a boy, doing boy shit, it was this right here. Excuse me, cut and scratch that out. When I said I was doing boy shit, this is what the boy stuff I was doing right here. I wouldn't let go of my baby mama. You know where I'm coming from? And she was treating me like shit. I just didn't want to destroy my family. That's what I'm saying. You know where I'm coming from? So I really didn't even give the woman even no attention, even while she at the apartment and everything. You know. So then this one day after that, you know, they come to the apartment, left, and say I'm saying. The day after that, like I say, Boog was talking to the girl on the passenger seat. I said about a couple of days, probably about a week after that. Shoot, my baby mom got mad. I found out she was talking to some other guy on the low low that I didn't know nothing about. So I found that out. So I started hollering at the girl, the lady. You know what I'm saying? Then I found out then, like I say, she was a woman. And I was doing bullshit. Fucked off. You know where I'm coming from? She had went to the car lot, went and bought her a Hummer, four-door Hummer. She stayed out there more in a four-bedroom house. You know where I'm coming from? Man, we was kicking it for a minute there. And here were how I fucked it up right here. Was cut and scratch that out. I didn't mean to cuss. Here's how I messed it up right here. You know where I'm coming from? This is at the time right here when America was at war with Afghanistan and Iraq. I think I'm saying it right. You know where I'm coming from? But yeah, they was at war with them. So she had got that phone call to where she had to get shipped to Afghanistan for a whole year. You know where I'm coming from? And I suppose I kept it solid with her while she was gone. You know what I'm saying? But the craziest thing is though, when this woman that like I said, she was so much of a woman, she would believe anything I told her, man. You know where I'm coming from? So she saw me sitting in the back seat of this car, you know where I'm coming from, on my own SUV. She didn't really know who I was. You know where I'm coming from? So what I mean by that, she didn't know my background. She thought I was just a person sitting in the back seat of the car. You know where I'm coming from? But like I said, I was talking to my kinfolk the other day. He brought this subject up to me. So I said, man, I'm going to talk about this on my show, man. And what I was saying is this right here. She fell in love with the man that I was. She didn't even know who I really was, as far as like, if she would have knew who I really was, and she already loved me for the person she thought I was, oh man. But I fucked it off, like I said, when went to Afghanistan for that year. I was going back to my baby mama and wasn't sending her nothing, wasn't calling her, wasn't saying nothing to her while she was over there. None of that, man. Messed that woman off right there. Yeah, that's how I messed up that woman right there. I messed up that woman right there, man. Let me get off that subject because it got me thinking about stuff. Let me get off that subject though. We're gonna get on this one right here, you know what I'm saying? Last couple of episodes I shared with you guys a story about the guy, Mr. LB. You know where I'm coming from? I just shared with y'all all the way off into the details of it, but I'm gonna break a little bit more down to you. This is part two of it. You know where I'm coming from? I'll tell you how we fell out right here. This is how me and Mr. LB fell out right here. Right. I'm gonna see how I can break it down. I'm gonna break it down like this. This is how we fell out right here, right? I knew the people, right? We started cutting grass, right? You know what I'm saying? Start cutting yards, you know. So I'm gonna say this. I knew all the people whose yards that we have to cut. They came to me. You know where I'm coming from? Those who needed their grass cut. You know where I'm coming from? I'm the one who they would come to. You know where I'm coming from? Mr. LB was the one who had the lawnmower and the weed eaters, right? And the blower to blow the grass off the concrete. You know where I'm coming from? That was what LB had. I didn't have the equipment, but I knew all the people. You know where I'm coming from? But I didn't have the equipment. I knew the people. Let me say this one more time. I didn't have the equipment, but I knew the people. You understand what I'm saying? So start off like this right here. We cutting grass, boy, having fun cutting grass, you know what I'm saying? All over the city. North, south, east, and the west, because I know people, you know what I'm saying? Cutting that grass, making that stuff look nice, you know what I'm saying? Putting designs in the yards and all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So this one day, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. You know, come from something happened. I think I had got sick. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it was. And I come missing in action for a couple of days, right? So them days that I wasn't around, Mr. LB went back down with all the people that I knew whose grass that we would go cut. He went behind my back and started cutting all the yards without me and wasn't telling me that he was doing it. You know where I'm coming from? So he wasn't telling me. So once I got back healthy again, well, to where I was able to move around, I started hearing rumors about how he was cutting this person's yard, went over here and cut this person's yard, went over here and cut this person's yard, making all the money, but not even giving me a percentage of it, knowing that I'm the one who turned him on to these yards. You know where I'm coming from? So back then, I was an eye for an eye type thing, you know what I'm saying, with me. I didn't understand what people was meaning, so I said, I'm an eye for an eye. So I ain't turning my cheek, you know. So what I did was put a plan and a plot together to come take all his lawnmower equipment. I'm talking about I took every last bit of his lawnmower equipment, right? So I took all his equipment, started back cutting my own yards. You know what I'm saying? And here's where it got real cool at me, real crazy. Well, I ain't gonna really say crazy. Here's where it got real at. When I took all the lawnmower equipment and started cutting started cutting grass myself, you know what I'm saying? I found out, well, I've been and knew, the equipment that he had wasn't even his equipment. It was somebody that was over him that let him borrow the equipment. You understand what I'm saying? So none of the equipment wasn't even his that I took. So when I came back and took all the equipment, the guy's equipment that I took, you know where I'm coming from, he let me know that it was his. So he had called me on the phone one day. So I thought he was calling me, trying to meet up with me because he was trying to go to war with me or trying to do something to hurt me. You know where I'm coming from? So when he called me on my phone, I don't even know who gave him my number, or even how he got my number. But he called me on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I want to talk to you about something. And that's all he said. Can I meet you somewhere? And at this time, I was always hanging out at the bowling alley. You know, the bowling alley had some pool tables in the back, and we'll be always at the bowling alley shooting pool, either in the front bowling or whatever, either one of them. You know where I'm coming from? And that was like every day thing we would do. You know. So this day, I said, okay, come on up to the bowling alley. We up here in the back playing pool. You know. So like I'm saying, I'm thinking he was really trying to get into something because you know he was a dude from California. You know where I'm coming from? So I'm, you know, a gangster guy from California, you know what I'm saying? A real street guy. You know what I'm saying? Not no sucker. A real street guy. You know where I'm coming from? So I'm thinking he finna try to come do something to me for taking lawnmower equipment that I took from LB because I didn't know it was his. You know what I'm saying? But so when he come up there to the bowling alley, before he come up to the bowling alley, I had called a couple of my partners. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I got something going on, man, and I don't know how this gonna turn out. You know what I'm saying? So I want to feel y'all to go sit over there in the bowling alley, go play some bowl, go bowl. I'm gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So I had a few of my partners over there bowling, and I had a few of my partners actually in the back with me playing pool. You know where I'm coming from? So when he comes up there, he's like, man, he walks up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he from Cali, so he ain't no dummy. You know where I'm coming from? So I done already seen, when he walked in there, he scoped the scene. He already seen the guys that was over there bowling. You know what I'm saying? And coming in the back where I was at, he seen the guys that was actually in the back playing pool with me. So he already knew. But then he said, man, no. He said, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. He said, man, I didn't come up here to talk to you on that, nothing like that. That ain't what I come up here for. You know what I'm saying? I said, what you talking about? I said, man, I see what you got going on. He said, but that ain't what I come up here for. He said, man, not what I come up here for, because I recognize it was you that I should have gave all the lawnmower equipment to. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah, that's what he told me. You know where I'm coming from? And if he was around me right now, we can ask him that question. He'll tell you that's what he told me. You know where I'm coming from? That was his words. He said this. He said, man, I realized it was you that I should have gave all the lawnmower equipment to and let you cut the grass on your own. So when he said that, you know where I'm coming from? He said, now that I recognize that, he said, even though you did what you did, you know what I'm saying, don't you worry about that. You know where I'm coming from? Because if I was in your situation and they was doing me like that, I would have did the same thing. You know where I'm coming from? So he said, don't you worry about nothing. I'm going to make them pay that back for all the lawnmower equipment that you took from them. He won't have to pay that back. So, you know, but when I come back around, I have invested into some tractors, you know what I'm saying, so I can go cut some fields now. You know what I'm saying? So he said when he get back, I was going to be able to go cut fields now. He's going to let me get the tractor and cut the fields. You know what I'm saying? But she never made it back. You know where I'm coming from? That's when he never ever made it back. Still to the day, I still haven't talked to him. But I know if he ever seen me or get a chance to talk to me, he gonna know what man, I should have fucked with you like he always had told me. You know what I'm saying? It was you that I should have messed with to cut the grass. I recognize that. You know where I'm coming from. Yeah, but that's why me and LB found out right there. Because like I said, I had got ill. He started cutting all the yards without me, started getting paid without me, wasn't even giving me a percentage. And I got mad. I for an eye and went took all the lawnmower equipment. You know where I'm coming from? And like I said, realized it wasn't his equipment. You know. Yeah, that's how it all started right there. You know where I'm coming from. But let me get off of that and get on this right here. I keep hearing this story right here. They say if you done over 20, 30 years in the penitentiary, you a legend. That's what the podcast people say. I don't hear this in the streets. I hear this on podcast shows. That's the craziest thing too. Because in the streets, you don't hear nobody in the streets that done time even glorifying their time. A real street person, to me, who really done time in the penitentiary, I done been around them, so it ain't my opinion what I'm supposed to get ready to say. They don't even like talking about that stuff. I don't care what you is or who you is. Man, they would not talk about that stuff. You know where I'm coming from? And if they do talk about it, you have to catch them on a day where, you know what I'm saying, where they just probably feeling good or somebody probably around asked them a question about something or if somebody probably lied about something, you know where I'm coming from, then yeah, they might go ahead and say something about it.
Or they around another nigga that was there.
Or either when they're around some other, like that, or when they're around somebody else that done done the time, you know. But other than that, you don't hear nobody that I know, let me say it this way, I don't hear them talking about no penitentiary stories, you know. I only hear this on the podcast shows. And this is crazy how the people who got these podcast shows is actually putting this stuff out here for people to see it. Like what they talking about is going to change kids' minds not to get in the streets. I don't understand that, man. You know, because I say this, and this is not to all of them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want nobody to get mad what I'm finna say. This is just to some of them. You know, I feel if a person done 20, 30 years in the penitentiary, right? Just imagine a person come out of the penitentiary at the age of 45, right? You know where I'm coming from? After doing 20 years. Let's say he went in at 16. You know where I'm coming from? Let's say that. Let's say he went in at 17. Fuck it. Let's say he went in at 18, right? Now he's 43 when he get out. So he just did over 25, almost 20 something years, right? 45 when he get out, right? And here's just my opinion now, was what I'm finna speak on. My opinion, right? These guys that's on these podcast channels and talking about that and did 20, 30, 40 years in the penitentiary and they 40 and they 50 and they 60 years old today. I'm not finna say nothing bad about you. So if I hurt your feeling, the truth always gonna hurt a hurt person. You understand what I'm saying? I'm only speaking an opinion though. You know? A 45, 50-year-old person to come out of the penitentiary, in my opinion, his brain is programmed to only be 20 years old when he got out. So it's nothing a person like that, and this my opinion, that can share with me, that can help me do anything to better my life. It's nothing he can tell me. Only thing these people that's getting on these podcast channels talking these penitentiary stories, only thing y'all can tell a person like me, you know, because I'm kind of different than other people that y'all saying it to. Only thing y'all can tell me is how y'all used to fight. How y'all wasn't punks in there. How y'all didn't turn to faggots. You know, excuse me, cut that out. How y'all didn't turn gay. You know, but far as any type of wisdom, any type of knowledge, can't share nothing with me because I don't understand that. See, the only thing you can share with me is like I just said. But what I can share with guys like y'all, you know what I'm saying? See, I'm 51 years old and I'm not afraid to tell y'all my age, you know? Yeah, I'm 51 years old, right? And in my 51 years old of my life, I only seen a juvenile cell at the age when I was what? In the seventh grade. And I'm gonna tell you a story. No, I ain't gonna even get off into that story. When I was in the juvenile, you know where I'm coming from. Well, matter of fact, let me get off into this story. You know. See, back in the days, like I said, the wise guy who once was a fool. So I was a fool, you know where I'm coming from. So we used to ride around in this, my partner from IFG, you know what I'm saying? Come out of North Highlands, you know what I'm saying? Picked us up one day off in the truck, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what, 4 or 5 of us in the back of the truck, 2 or 3 people in the front of the truck. So we riding all through Oklahoma City, you know where I'm coming from? Having fun, going out to eat, took, you know, everybody out, going out to eat, messing with the women and all that, having fun, kicking it, you know what I'm saying? But on our way back from having all this fun, you know where I'm coming from, On our way back, going back to North Highlands, the police get behind us, right? So when the police got behind us, my partner that was driving just took off. So it was a high speed chase from Oklahoma City all the way to Texas. And I was in the seventh grade at this time, you know where I'm coming from. So we high speed chase all the way to Texas, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. Only reason why we got caught is because the truck ran out of gas. See, what he was trying to do is make it to where his daddy stayed in Texas. You know what I'm saying? But we ran out of gas. You know where I'm coming from? So when we ran out of gas on the highway, they sent the canines and all that out on us. Not on me. I'm talking a couple of kin folks got bit up and everything. So we ended up in a juvenile at this time, at the seventh grade. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah, we in the juvenile home. This is my first time ever being in the juvenile home. High speed chase to Texas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's when I've been locked up right there. It's that right there. And that was like I said, seventh grade. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah, but like we was in Texas at this time, man, it wasn't nobody out there knew nothing about gangbanging when we was down there in this juvenile system. They didn't know nothing about it, so we get in there, we deep. Probably like 5 or 6 hours in there. Man, we go in there, they scared, I don't know how to nothing. So they had made us stay in our rooms. We couldn't come out of our rooms. You know where I'm coming from? For a couple of days. Yeah, but that's when I been locked up right there. My juvenile year when I was in the seventh grade. High speed chase to Texas. Yeah. But let me go back to what I was saying. See, the guys that's being locked up, they can't teach me nothing or share nothing with me. I don't have no felonies. You know where I'm coming from? And like I said, I'm 51 years old. So, if anything, I can tell you people and you guys how to stay out of trouble. Yeah, I can share with y'all how to stay out of trouble. You know where I'm coming from? I can share with y'all how to stay here to be able to raise y'all's kids. You know where I'm coming from? I can share that much information and wisdom with you guys for that. You know where I'm coming from to do that. I can't share no penitentiary stories, and that's the reason why I don't talk about that type of stuff. And that's the whole reason why I'm talking about it right now. It's because I don't understand how people sit here trying to say that a penitentiary person can teach another person how not to go to the penitentiary. And like I say, I ain't gonna say all of them. Like I said, if you're 45 and 50, you come out with a 25-year-old brain. You done lost 20 years in the cell, not knowing what was going on. You know where I'm coming from? That same rules and regulations that goes off in the penitentiary, just it's not the same rules and regulations out here in the streets. You know where I'm coming from? So all the fake shit is what goes on in the streets. All the real shit, rules and regulations, is off in the penitentiary. So that's about the only thing that I feel that anyone that's being locked up, well, I ain't gonna say anyone, let me go back and cut that out. Those who own these podcast shows is talking about penitentiary stories. I feel that's the only thing that y'all can share. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't too much care about your fighting. You know what I'm coming from, how tough you was, or how you got your butt whooped and you had to get tough. And man, it don't make sense to me. You know where I'm coming from? But then let me get off of that. If you 55 years old and you done 20 to 30 years of penitentiary time, your brain is only programmed in a 20-year-old mind. So you can't share nothing with me that's going to give me wisdom to understand nothing. But that's just me. I'm not saying it about everybody. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah, but I'm going to get off of that. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah, I'm going to get off of that and talk about something else. We're going to talk about this right here. We're going to talk about Bill Cosby right quick. The Bill Cosby show is what we finna talk about. It happened back in the days. It came on back in the days is what I mean. Since Bill Cosby show, it showed all the good things that black people can do inside of a house if it's correctly done. The Cosby show did. Bill Cosby got very rich making these shows, making movies, doing a lot of other things that he was doing. Now here's where I'm finna speak my opinion about certain things. See, when Bill Cosby got rich, he got a lot of money. You know where I'm coming from? The money he got, he didn't give back. Well, he probably gave back to whoever he wanted to give back to. Let me say it that way. But this is what our black rich folks don't understand, right? Is this right here. They're going to give you all the money you want, right? But when you're trying to go do something to bring black people together, they're going to find ways to come after you. You understand what I'm saying? So I say that to say this. When they finding ways to come after you, and you don't have the people behind you when they're doing these things, they spend billions of dollars to turn their lives into the truth. And you have to understand this right quick, what I'm finna say now. People get paid from them. So without them getting paid from them, they're not able to pay their bills, right? Check me out what I'm saying now. They're not able to pay their bills. So Bill Cosby only helped a few people, those that he felt he needed to help, right? But when you coming out here trying to do something to bring the people together, do something better for the people, those in power find ways to come after you to make you look like you not that person, right? So I say that to say this again. Bill Cosby, when you had all that money, you shouldn't have just been helping those that you wanted to help. You have knowledge. You have wisdom to understand that all black, brown-skinned people are put off into a race filled with obstacles, right? Whoever helping them people run that race is who the people gonna listen to. You understand what I'm saying? So let me say it again. So when you come after China 4, they already knew all the black movies, black shows, and all this was going to move to offer their channels to your channel. You can't mess with their money. The mafia showed you that a long time ago. You cannot mess with their money. So Mr. Bill Cosby, this is where you messed up at right here. You didn't help everybody. So when you trying to go out here and do stuff to build up the people, you have to be able to help the people too. Because if you ain't out here helping the people, they only gonna follow and believe and listen to those that's helping them. So when they came out here and said, hey, Bill Cosby used drugs to do this, Bill Cosby used drugs to do this, you got this lady that came and said Bill Cosby did this. But it all happened 20, 30 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? None of this stuff happened recently. It happened years ago. But since the people are not behind Bill Cosby, they behind those who help them pay bills, those people spend billions of dollars to put on news channels, airwaves, social media channels, to make us think Bill Cosby is a person who playing on ladies. And then some of y'all guys be off in y'all's feelings that y'all like, shit, Bill Cosby ain't never did nothing to me. Fuck Bill Cosby. Maybe he did do it. Yeah, that's how some of our black people is, you know. Yeah, maybe he did do it. Maybe he did something. Maybe he that. But you hear what I just said? Maybe. Not the truth. A maybe. So this is where I feel Bill Cosby and a lot of our elders who's out here trying to do big things in life to better themselves and others. If you're not out here helping people in all 50 states, not just the state you stay in all 50 states, if you're not doing it that way, they're going to spend billions of dollars to make you look bad too. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to spend billions of dollars to make you look bad too. And the craziest thing is our people are going to be the ones that accept that money and turn on you. And this is the crazy thing about it. But let me get off of that and get on something else. Our brains is like computers, right? Whatever we program inside our brain is how, well, I'm going to say this. Whatever we program inside of our brain, whatever our two eyes see is what we program inside our brain. So I'm going to say that to say this. This is the reason how our brain is able to think certain things. Because the things that we have programmed in it. So when somebody say the brain don't think, yeah, the brain think. The brain only think about what you programmed in it. It's almost like a computer. Go cut your computer on. Everything that you just stored inside that computer, every search you just searched on that computer will pop up in that computer. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the brain is almost like a computer. What you program in it, what you see with your two eyes, is what we're gonna think. See, this is what people in power knew too. So this is the reason why we have movies that we have, music the way we have it, situations in life going on the way it go on. And I may not be correct with the number that I'm supposed to get ready to share, but in the United States, right, of America, and I might not be correct, so I'm just gonna say this: 360 million black people, right? And you got one person that may just have 300. I ain't gonna say three. You got one person. I ain't gonna say it could be more. I'm just using this as an example. You know, 360 million black people in America, and you got one black person with $1 billion. Will this black person go broke if he gave everyone $1 million? It's a very easy answer. No, he won't, because he got $1 billion. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what's going on in America, right? In order to get rich and stay rich, can't share that money because it could be somebody right next to you that know how to do what you do way better than you. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the reason why blessings is not handed down to other people. This is the reason why they even invented the word gatekeeping, gatekeeper, or whatever, however you want to say it. This is the reason why this word was invented. Because nothing changed the names, right? What happened in 1750 is going on right now in 2026. The only difference is back then you may have had to walk, or you may have had to ride a horse. You maybe didn't have no clock. You maybe couldn't take a good hot shower. You know, a little shit like that changed. You know, coming from. But far as the way people think and operate, none of that changed. You know? So the same stuff that we have going on back in the days is going on today because that's what's programmed inside people's brains. So this is what people think. You know where I'm coming from? Real love. Share a story with you guys about real love. You will hurt yourself for people and still love them. That's love. Other than that, you're just trying to benefit off of somebody, and since you didn't benefit the correct way you wanted to, you don't give a fuck about them no more. I share that story for a reason because I'm finna share this too with you guys. What I watched growing up in my life. My moms, my pops, my parents, period. See, we stayed in North Highlands, right? See, if you know about North Highlands back in the early 70s, it was a knockoff from Nichols Hills. And if you know about Nichols Hills, you know that Nichols Hills was one of the richest places in Oklahoma City, you know. And North Highlands was a knockoff version from Nichols Hills back in the early 70s and the early 80s. You had the white folks stand out there, you couldn't even walk in their grass because their grass was so nice. You know where I'm coming from? And if you didn't have no money as a black race of people, if you didn't have no money or no good paying job, you couldn't stay in North Highlands. You had to stay on the east side or in Musgrave somewhere. You understand that what I'm saying? You couldn't stay in North Highlands, you know? So I share that for a reason. I watched my parents give neighbors the last loaf of bread that we had in the house. I watched my parents give neighbors the last jar of mustard that we had in the house. I watched my pops and my parents let neighbors plug up water hoses to our house to run it a whole water hose to their house to fill up their tubs. Even when my moms and pops was doing bad, this is what they done. So this is the reason why they wasn't able to receive some of the riches that some of these other rich people, that black rich people have. Because you couldn't pay these motherfuckers. Let me get off of that. You can't pay some of these black people out here today who so-called say they believe in the Lord, the God, the Bible, and all this to love their neighbor the way I watched my parents them love their neighbor. See, I watched this as a kid. This is the reason why my heart's so big. What I programmed in my brain is what I think. So when I watch other stuff go on and some of these parents wouldn't even let people come in their house. Man, my parents let people come in the house and wash their hands. My parents let people come in the house and fed them. Even when we was having hard times feeding ourselves. So this is the reason why my heart is so big, and this is the reason why I'm on so much to love the way I'm on, and I know so much about negative energy, and I know so much about positive energy, and I know so much about these other people who talk about how they